I first started with Domino's Pizza when I was in the military. I went in the Army at 17 and was stationed at Fort Myer, Virginia, and I needed a part-time job, so I started delivering pizzas for Frank Meeks and Team Washington. After I got out of the military, I decided to stay with Domino's, became a manager and then a supervisor of all of downtown Washington, D.C. before franchising in 2004, and I bought my first store here in Georgetown, Kentucky, and a store in Frankfort, Kentucky to start. And since then, we've grown to 14 stores in the Lexington market. 5 years ago, the drivers used to deliver in their own vehicles, and there was a rash of lawsuits around how to properly reimburse the delivery drivers for using their own personal vehicles. And we were unfortunately hit with one of those lawsuits. And after settling the lawsuit, we came to a crossroads where we either had to decide we're going to pay an exorbitant amount of money, 63 cents a mile, the IRS reimbursement rate, with the food costs still, the labor, the rent, the overhead, the utilities. Something had to give. So at that point in time, we reached out, and through Domino's Corporate and Enterprise Fleet Management, we decided to go with company-owned cars. And a big part of that for us was, how do we now control our cars? How do we make sure that our drivers are delivering safely in our vehicles and make sure they're not speeding, driving recklessly, not wearing their seatbelts? So we wanted to partner with a company that could provide us that information and that feedback that we needed in real time. And Enterprise brought Geotab to the table. If you own and you have your own company cars, you can't go with anybody else but Geotab. The technology is amazing.
The Geotab training was wonderful too. Anything I needed, they could completely customize. Anything they needed, they could get for our drivers.
So we have a Geotab device that plugs into the onboard diagnostic in the car, and that measures the speed the driver's going. It measures the G-force for turns, for acceleration, for braking, and the camera faces forward and faces into the car. That camera that Geotab has is so intelligent that when it doesn't see the seatbelt across their chest, it takes a photo and sends Stephanie a photo and says, this person's not wearing their seatbelt. If they're driving to a house and something just doesn't feel right, they can point the car at the front door of the house, and that camera continues to record. So when they're going up to the house, they know they have the peace of mind that everything's on camera. Safety in the community is a huge driving factor. The first year that we rolled out cars, within a month we saw some of our delivery drivers driving 25 miles an hour over the speed limit. Harsh accelerating, harsh braking, doing a lot of things that we had no idea they were doing because they were driving their own vehicles. When we switched to company cars and had the technology in the car, now we could control and we could see what the drivers were doing, and we could address it in real time, and Geotab really allows that.
My most used item is the driver scorecard. You can see the name, store number, you can see how many miles they've driven, you can see their total score, their risk, and then I can give them the assurance that if you work on this today, tomorrow you're going to have a wonderful score. So, I can give them feedback with that.
If you're driving safely and you're doing everything you should do, we'll never ever see you behind the wheel. We're never going to look at the camera. It's only when there is an issue, when there's an accident, when there's a problem, that we need to pull that footage, and we have the ability to look and see what's going on both forward and in the car. That's when the Geotab and the technology really comes into play. Because in the last 3 years, we've had about 15 bad accidents. And of course, they see the Domino's wrapped car and they think, okay, clearly they're at fault. In 13 out of the 15 accidents, the technology proved we were not at fault. We were able to get our deductible back. Our insurance after the first year actually went down on the cars. If a check engine light goes on one of our cars, Stephanie immediately gets an alert from Geotab. And with Geotab, we get the codes and we know.
I can just look at that code on the car and I know if it's good or not. I know most of the time they have not put the gas cap on, so I know that code. I'll be like, just put the gas cap, open, close, good to go.
It really helps our productivity that we're not down for things we shouldn't be down for. So where we would have to be in front of the computer on a Friday night with 90 cars watching and checking where everybody was at all times, now we're able to get an alert. We can be having dinner somewhere and be out relaxing rather than sitting in front of a computer. But even then, on her phone, the technology can alert her. She can quickly do what she needs to do, send it to the manager, and the manager addresses it at the store, and they may write the driver up, pull the driver off the road, or just tell the driver to slow down. Sometimes it's as simple as that.
We can do it quickly and then continue with our life now.
Yes.
They've given us that piece that we don't have to stop everything we're doing.
The drivers really like having the company cars to drive, not putting the wear and tear on their car. They know that they're in a safe vehicle. They know they have good tires. They know they have good windshield wipers. They're driving a safe, good car. And they have more productivity. They're able to go straight to delivery, straight back, and they're getting more deliveries per hour and they're making more money. Geotab has really evolved with our company and with our fleet. Working with the engineers, Stephanie's been able to get all the reports automated. She's been able to get the things that are important to her included in the reports and get them automated where they're sent to her directly to her email, where she's not having to dig and find things. There's solutions for everything. The partnership that we have with Geotab, the partnership with the cars and the charging and the fleets, there are so many resources available for anybody who's looking at doing a fleet. And when we started, we were the first Domino's to roll a fleet. And we were one of the first pizza delivery companies that Geotab took on. And we've basically paved the way with the engineers at Geotab and the partnership to make things easier for everyone. Even though our fleet continues to increase in size, our insurance continues to go down because the Geotab technology has been keeping our drivers safe and keeping us out of accidents, and the accidents we are in, we're able to prove are not our fault. I don't think our drivers have ever been as safe as they are now.